Hi guys, this is Bunny, otherwise known as Kanina. I decided for this week's article for the newspaper, I am going to do a small tutorial on finding stock images. Now while I say it's small, it's actually of huge importance because you have to make sure when you're doing photo manipulations that you are following the stock rules, stock laws, and just showing respect to whoever you're using stock images from. First thing I do want to go over is the difference between Morguefile and DeviantArt. Morguefile is okay to use, but a lot of the images are not meant for manipulating. They're meant for different things like magazines or websites and stuff like that. So a lot of times the photographers don't want you to manipulate them. Some are okay with it, some would really rather you not do that. But my best bet to tell you is to just kind of ask them, send them an email, because you can email them from Morguefile. One of the first things to do, DeviantArt is probably my favorite. It's actually the only place that I use because I feel safer with it. I feel like it's less likely that I'm going to get in trouble, and it's a lot easier for me to use. Well, the first thing you want to do when you go to DeviantArt is this is the home page. Your account information is up here. You can just hit profile if you want to go see your stuff, but most of you that have used it know that already. And then on this left side, there's a bunch of links. We'll separate them into different categories, kind of like a filter. When you want stock images, you want to hit resources and stock images, and then you can go between like a bunch of these. A lot of times the resources aren't stock images, they're just kind of like reference materials that you can use. If you want stock images, you go down here, and underneath literature templates is a link called stock images. So you'll click that, and then it takes you to a bunch of these. Now I'm gonna say I want to look for a chestnut horse. Where you go stock images, and then you hit animals, and you can switch between animals and landscapes and stuff like that. So here's a bunch of chestnut horse stock images. Now say I want to work with this paint right here. They say you don't need to notify them of use. So now I'm going to kind of go over the description in case you haven't caught on already. But you don't need to notify VenomX Baby by linking them on the page to the manipulation you made. And you must credit with a link to my DA account. What that means is you need to add credits to the image that will link the person, or that will link whoever wants to go back to the stock provider to the image that you made, or to their original stock image. And like, don't use in bloody or graphic work, which is pretty common. And then it also says here the full stock rules. You want to pay attention to that because there might be something that they don't allow it on sim sites or stuff like that. So you'll click on the link that they have, and it says you must credits must always be on the picture if it uses hide DA. Do not use in violent, that. No pre-cuts or photo blends. I don't know what a photo blend is. I guess that means that you can't. I don't know. Well, I'll find that out, and I'll post in another thing what that means. Anyway, and you must at least cut the horse out on a new background, and you cannot use as is. This one is important because it's recently happened, which a lot of times you don't know. I don't take it personally from people. I take it pretty seriously, but I'm not gonna look at the person and be like, well, you're stupid for thinking that you could do that, because that's really not. I was always taught that ignorance is not bad, because ignorance means you have room to learn, and I've lived by that for a long time. Anyway, do not upload stock photos as is anywhere else on the internet. That's pretty plain and simple. You do not need to notify me of use. I already said that. You can use as a reference for digital painting or traditional art, and you can use the artwork on sim games and RPGs. And you can sell prints of your work and that too, which doesn't apply to White Oak Stables. So now we'll go back, and we're back to the horse. So this is one that we can use. Just make sure that you go through and you read the stock rules, and if it says please see page for stock rules, make sure you follow that. I cannot begin to explain how important that is to read the stock rules. I will say it over and over and over again. You need to read those rules. Let's see what this one says. Yeah, about the same thing. Click the link to read the full rules. This one wants to see your work. So that's basically kind of how to follow the stock rules and see what exactly you need to do when you look for stock images. And I guess I can show you quick how to, an easy way to kind of store stock images. Here I'm going to narrow it down to stock images, go to animals, and that's as far as I'll go. So I'm gonna try and find a horse that I can work with eventually. See if I can use this one. I don't like it. That would be fun to work with. Okay. So I do like this, and I can see in the rules that it's okay for me to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag it to my favorites. And that way I can kind of save the not the manipulations, but the stock photos that I want to use in the future. And then you do the same thing for backgrounds. Just make sure that they allow it to be used on sim games. Some won't let you use it on horses, which I don't understand, but you have to follow the rules regardless. So yeah, that is basically the gist of stock images and how to find them. If you do have any questions, just let me know. Comment and I can try my best to explain it, and if not, I will find out the answer. Alright, and you guys have a great day, and I hope this helps you out.